So you're thinking of getting a puppy? Well, here is 10 things you need to consider. In 2021, I got my very first puppy called Geordie, and she is a toy cavoodle. In 2022, I then got my second dog, which is a golden doodle, and her name is Elsa. After owning 2 dogs for 2 years, I have collected a little bit of a list of things you should consider before getting a puppy. The first thing to consider is lack of sleep when having a puppy. Either they will be waking you up to go toilet, or you will have to be setting alarms every 2 to 3 hours to take them out to the toilet. Because you've got to remember, their bladders are small. They cannot hold it all night. So do not be getting a puppy during an important time where you need to get 8 hours of beauty sleep, because that is out the door. The second thing you need to consider is dog proofing. I feel like this is one major thing people do not consider before getting a puppy. Puppies and full-grown dogs are great escape artists. They will find any way possible to escape your house. I have my toy cavoodle, who's very small. She will find the tiniest of holes or gaps to fit through, whereas my big golden doodle will jump and scale any fence she can. She's strong, like she will get over anything. So yeah, you really do need to consider dog proofing, because with dog proofing comes time and money, and it will be continuous. You will dog proof your house, and your dogs a few months down the track will find another way to get out. With dog proofing also comes the removal of small objects around your house. Anything that they potentially could consume and choke. Point number 3. Dogs are just like kids. When you're going away on holiday, you're going to need someone that is willing and reliable to look after your dogs. If you don't have anyone that could potentially do that for you, you are going to have to budget on the cost of putting them into kennels. And from what I know, they're pretty pricey. So that is a big factor you need to consider. Point number 4. This one is a little bit more personal to my own experience with my first dog. Being my first dog, I was very clingy and a protective dog mum. So this meant I caused a little bit of separation anxiety, and this was actually really hard to get rid of. So I highly recommend in those first 16 weeks of their lives to ensure you are introducing them to new people, new environments, new dogs, new sounds, new everything in this time. And don't be protective and clingy like I was, because honestly you will regret it in the long run, and it's so much harder to remove the bad habits that you have put into your dog. Point 5. Chew bones are essential. Honestly, dogs will destroy anything in their reach, and if you provide them with chew bones, this will prevent them from destroying your furniture, your things, and everything in your home. So honestly, whip the cash out, splurge on a few chew bones. They come in various sizes, textures, and flavors, and I'm sure this will reduce and minimize the things being destroyed in your house, because I can say there has been a few shoes, a few pillows, and a few parts of the couch that have been destroyed due to the chewing of my puppies. I highly recommend that, because during that initial stage of their life, they're going through teething, which is really painful for them. So yeah, invest in some amazing chew bones, and honestly, it is a life changer. Point number 6, and that is using a crate at night. This honestly helped me with my potty training for both my puppies, because they will 100% make a mistake. They will pee or poo somewhere in your house at some point. But honestly, doing this during nighttime does prevent them from making mistakes in the night, because when they're in a when they're in a small enclosed space, which is where they sleep, they will not want to pee on their bed where they sleep. They honestly won't. They will wake you up and tell you they need to go toilet. So that is one thing that I do highly recommend. The second part of this point, in terms of the potty training side would be to remove any rug. I had a really nice expensive beige white and cream rug, and that rug is still not being put back down because my youngest one, Elsa, she's still 8 months old. So just to minimize the risk of ruining that rug that has been put away. So yeah, I'd highly advise doing that until your puppy is just 100% potty trained, like you fully trust them. Point number 7, and that is diet progression. Do you want your puppy to have uncontrollable diarrhea or a really upset stomach or vomiting? I'm sure you don't. To prevent that from happening, you really need to consider the slow diet progression style. So if you're wanting to change brands or form of food that your dog is consuming, you need to do this very slowly. On the back of the package, I'm sure they will recommend how to slowly transition from your old diet to their new diet. And I would highly recommend to follow this because I've had a bit of terrifying moments, just moments I do not want to relive because it was terrifying, it was so gross. Let's just say my golden doodle Elsa went through a stage in her life where I introduced another food form too fast, and she had uncontrollable diarrhea, and she had her mistakes on the carpet in our office because I take my dogs to work. But yeah, let's just say it was not a fun time cleaning up diarrhea, smelly poos off the floor in my office. Point number 8, and that is making sure that everyone in your household is on the same page. Whether you live with your partner or the rest of your family, you need to make sure that everyone is undergoing the same level of discipline and command when it comes to the training of your puppy. Because if a puppy is getting different levels of discipline and different commands for different things, they're going to get really confused. This will ensure their overall training experience is successful and smooth. Point number 9 is taking time off work when you get your puppy. For both my puppies, I have taken at least 1 week off for both of them to ensure I am there supporting them and helping them through that first week of transition, getting used to their new environment, their new owner, their new life. It is really important. I don't recommend getting a puppy and spending 1-2 days with them and then just buggering off to work and leaving them alone. Point number 10, and that is you will be outside a lot, because before the age of around 16 weeks old, I think, they will not be fully vaccinated, and the only way you can burn their energy off is playing and entertaining them in your own space at home, whether that be inside if you have a bigger house or in your backyard. You really need to ensure you're burning off that energy to reduce their tendencies of being a bit destructive. So I've got 2 bonus points. One is dogs are expensive. You need to be making sure that you've budgeted for absolutely everything, whether this be fleeing, worming, doggy proofing, their foos, their grooming, their brushes, their shampoo, their walking accessories, their beds, their bowls, the list honestly goes on and on and on. So you need to make sure that you've written down every tiny little thing your puppy requires and ensure that you're able to provide this for them. And the other point was you need to be making sure that you're researching into the breeds that you are wanting. For example, my toy cavoodle, she's only 4 kilos and she doesn't require as much exercise as my 8-month-old golden doodle, who's around 20 kilos at the moment. So she's basically at least 4 times her size. So they both need different durations of exercise. So when looking into getting a puppy, you need to also look into how much exercise they require and whether you can actually fit that into your lifestyle with your work, your social life, and everything else that's involved in your lifestyle. But overall, to wrap this up, I do want you to know that my 2 dogs are honestly the best thing I've ever done for myself. I miss them the moment I leave them. Yeah, They are honestly my little children, and I could not do life without them, and I'm so glad I have them in my life. If you have loved today's video, I have also filmed another video on the total cost of my golden doodle. So I'll pop that up on the screen if you want to go watch that one. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!